Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem, Shai Bashem, Rakakodah, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video, I'm going to try to make it quick, but I doubt it. It's going to be quick. But let's see what happens. Let's see where the Spirit leads me. I'm going to entitle this video, If You Don't Deal With the Etymology of Words, You Really Don't Have the Truth. So this is a video currently, which I said in a previous video. I threw it at Apostle Ramlab, because a couple of years ago he went into the word, the exact equivalent to the Hebrew word ayalama, or ayalama, which means young woman. Aylam means young. For Elam means young. Ayalama makes it feminine, which means young woman. It means young woman of a marriageable age, a woman that passed puberty but has not had sex, or just recently had sex, or had a first baby, or had a 2-year-old toddler, a toddler with a abundant oven, so to speak. So that word in Isaiah chapter 7 verse 14, that's what it means. That word there, ayalama, means a woman that recently had sex, didn't have sex, about to have sex, pregnant with a baby, pregnant with maybe a little toddler on the side, like I said. So this was two years ago, maybe 3, I don't know. So he had mentioned it, Apostle Ramlab, and he went into the Greek word, and you know, because like you go in the New Testament, you look up a word in the Greek, but it'll also lead you back to the Hebrew. Like, for example, when you Matthew chapter 1, when it speaks about Yahushai, the blue letter tell you that that's not his name. His name in the Greek would be what is it? Jesus, which is kind of similar to Yahushai, but not really. So you got to go deeper. You got to go further into the root. And what they say in the blue letter, which they're going off on, they'll say the name goes back to the word, or the name Yahushai, which is not true. It's Yahushai. Then it goes back to Joshua. It says Joshua. It'll say Joshua, and it'll say Yahushai in the Hebrew. But they'll say Yahushai. But I believe if you go to Hosea the King, I think they spell it right, minus the prefix Yah, which is Hawashai. If I'm not gonna go to it. You can go to it on your own. But I believe they kind of break it down right. But in the blue letter, in the strong spelling in Hebrew is Yahushai, not Yahushai. So the Strong's got it right. See right here, it says Strong's, which is a different. They'll give you their different definition in the blue letter. Then they'll usually mention the Strong's, and the Strong's got it right. So anyway, this video right here is currently, I don't really got to watch it because I already know what it means. But he said, because I got on the phone with him, and I said pretty much the easiest way to explain it is the word gune, or gone, which can mean a young woman, a woman that does not have sex, a woman that recently had sex, a widow. It's a general term. Now, if you go to the lowest common denominator, the word, you'll get nianis, which goes back to the Hebrew for ayalama. So the exact Greek way of saying ayalama is nianis. So he went into a bunch of scriptures. So now the topic here is Occam's razor, and I'm gonna look up the word. I know what it means, but I'm gonna go to Google. Greek word G1135 equals gone, which you have it in the actual Greek. Now, I said my argument is this. I say the word there that should be in Matthew's 1 shouldn't be the words are all in my head, Hebrew, Greek, and English. The word there is what is it? Parthenos, which means what the Hebrew equivalent is a bathwala, means a woman that never been touched. Mary was touched, okay, by Joseph. So the easiest way to go to it, you say the word that should have been there was gonei. But if you really want to go deep, the word that should be there is nianis. But you see how long this is 21 minutes. I stopped it. So he's 20 minutes in explaining it, which if you're out on the street, you wouldn't go all deep into this. And then let's go to the Song of Solomon, and let's go back to the New Testament. If you look up the word Greek, the people that you're talking to don't know Greek. They don't know Hebrew. They don't know root words. They don't know etymology. But if you want to go to the lowest common denominator, the word there would have to be nianis. And I said that in the previous video. But you can also use the word gonei, which means a young woman, whether she's had sex. Woman meaning she could be before experiencing. She could be 11 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old, 13 years old, 15 years old, 20 years old, 25 years old, 30 years old. It's just a general term for a woman. So that word could be there, or nianis could be there. But you got to do a lot of explaining. And we're not into, unless somebody comes up and you're going to teach somebody, you go into the lowest common denominator. This is why the title of the video was, if you're not into etymology, which means root word, the study of the root of words, you really don't know this truth. Another example is going back to Deuteronomy 22, 25th verse down to the end. I think this is 29th verse. And we went into the gold grape thing. And what did I say? All the Israelite groups got emotional about it. They got emotional about it. Now, one of the guys that got emotional was Martha brother, originally brother from New York. He's out there in the West, the Army of Israel. He I believe he was against it too, but he went and researched it. He went into the blue letter. He went into the root of the word, and then he said that's right. And he went deeper than we went, which you didn't have to go that deep. It's really not all that deep. So he was going back and forth with these guys saying that it was true. Another person, which happened to be a female, a naquaba, which is like a woman, as a woman, another way of saying woman. Now the word quaba means what's in between the legs of a woman, but naquaba means a female. You can call a woman like a man is ayash, a woman is ayasha, and I asked an Arab guy, how do you say woman in Arabic? He said Aisha, which is correct, which is Hebrew. But anyway, it's Napah Shadah. She came out maybe a year later, I don't remember the exact time, and she said, yep, that's true, that GMS is correct, that the word there is supposed to be grape. And now you had this emotional guy, Sarnetta. He was one of the main guys. What, we gonna kill you guys? You got demons on you, this, that, and the other. How you gonna tell get them while they're young? All this nonsense. They made a big deal out of it. They had a debate with Polite and Captain Cesariak, and Polite even went into it. Meanwhile, Polite was dealing with an underage girl, 14 years old, which was the daughter of one of his wives, which he had run away. They were in New York. She met the mother in New York. She had a daughter. Came into a relationship with a daughter. I think she had 2 daughters. This guy was dealing with this woman and had convinced her to move out to California with her. And that's all I'm going to say. So while he was talking about these guys talking about raping young, he was having sex with underage girls. She was 14 at the time. And then ultimately, what happened was he came against us. He wanted us to be taken out the picture, pulled, ripped out the frame. Got the Bloods and the Crips. Come to find out, he got caught in Florida assaulting, almost killed the girl, drugged her up, got her drunk, underage, got her drunk, put drugs in her. There was DNA, white DNA, on her. The cameras were there. So all he had to do was admit to a lower charge, right? So this is what happens when you come against the prophets of the Lord. That's the topic right there. All that stuff that you said about us, it backfired on you. And you're going to be in there until you're going to die in there. You know why you're going to die in there? Because we believe the missiles are going to come inside of them 7 years. So you ain't coming out unless you sold your soul to the devil, made a deal with the Rothschilds, got in good. You can get in good with Donald Trump. He might release you, but that's a state matter, not a federal. He only has power over federal convictions. So anyway, you had IUIC. We were going back and forth, and they're fueled by emotion. That's another topic. The IUIC is fueled by emotion. They do things based upon emotion. And they're the weakest camp out, one of the weakest camps out there because they're not deep. They'll bring out precepts, they'll bring out one precept, then go to another precept, and those precepts don't even match up. And they'll never go into the Hebrew, and they'll accuse you saying you can't make Hebrew is part of the doctrine. You're forced to go to the Hebrew. Like John 3:16. The easiest way to break down John 3:16 is going to the word world, which is the word there is cosmos, which means what? A certain group of something. You have the B world, the rock and roll world, the hip hop world, the alternate lifestyle world. That's a world, right? The Edomite world, the Israelite world, right? So IUIC, they'll go to Isaiah, what is that? Isaiah 45, world without end. I'm not going to go to it. Now that word world has nothing to do with the word world in John 3:16. The word world in Isaiah is the word, matter of fact, let me go to it. Let me go to that. Just so I can bring it out. So IUIC is not deep. They just fast talkers. They're glorified used car salesmen. That's all they are. Glorified used car salesmen. Let me see. Okay, world. I know it's in Isaiah. World without end. Let's see what comes up. Isaiah 45:17. But Israel shall be saved in Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. So this is what they'll use to say, well, that world in John 3:16 is talking about the world of Israel. So let's go to the word world. And you would never go the route of Apostle Rimlob unless you're dealing with a scholar. Unless you're dealing with a scholar. You go to the general term and you kind of mention the other stuff. But you can mention both of them. If you really want to go deep, lowest common denominator, that's the word. In general, you would go to Gonay. So I would be happy with either one of them words being in there instead of the word Parthenos in Matthew 1. But Israel shall be saved with the world of everlasting covenant, world without end. Let's look up the word world. The word there is Ayalam. It's talking about a kingdom. Long duration, antiquity, futurity, forever, everlasting. That's why I said world without end, everlasting kingdom, right? It shall not be left in other people, right? Evermore, perpetual, old, ancient world, long time. So it has nothing to do with a group, but you tell them who is it talking about? The Israelites, which is a group, which goes back to the word cosmos, So like I said, I didn't want to make this long. Let me come on back to so if you're not watching this video now, watch this video. If you want to go to the lowest common denominator. Oh, I said I was going to look up the word Occam's razor, and that's what I applied. I simply applied Occam's razor. There's another word, another term. Instead of Occam's razor, I forget the term. And most people don't know the meaning of the word Occam's razor. Okay. What is Occam's razor? Occam's razor is a principle of theory, construction, or evolution according to which other things equal explanation that possess fewer entities or fewer kinds of entities or evidence are to be preferred to explanation that possess more. In other words, when a woman is killed, she's slashed up. She got stabbed 42 times, 50 times. The first thing that comes to your mind, that's a crime of passion. That's a crime of passion. Because you got emotional, you want to kill that person. So they say, okay, the simplest Occam's razor they're applying. Is she married? Yes. Okay, what's the status on the husband? Oh, they got the divorce 6 months ago. They were in a custody battle. She was going to win. And he did say, bitch, I'll kill you. Okay, that's what we're going after. Let's say everything's cool. The husband's off. Does she have a boyfriend? Yes, she had a secret affair with so-and-so, and she wanted to break it off and get back with her husband. There you go. There you go. They're not going to say, oh, Arab, Osama bin Laden, raised from the dead, got on the plane, went and killed. No. But if you tell that, the American people will believe it because American people are idiots. So that's what it means by Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is usually the right one. People commit a crime. What they do is they make it look like another kind. Like you want to kill it. You want to kill a person out of passion, but you open the drawers and you take jewelry to make it say, oh, this guy went in there to rob her, and in the midst of that, he killed. No, ain't no man that's going to rob you, going to stab you 40, 50 times. Crime of passion. So then what they do is, the simplest thing with this guy that killed the insurance guy, they had pictures. They said, let's just go to the pictures. Then they put everything together. Okay? The situation, the New Year's Eve, there was two events. And what do people like us do, and Alex Jones and conspiracy theorists, they'll look at all the evidence and they say that doesn't add up. Then you realize the news, they'll say one thing. Next week, it's something else. Next week, they change it up again. They keep changing it. Then they'll tell you, don't listen to these conspiracy nuts. But you have to, because they're making sense. Because they're saying things don't add up. Anyway, that's what Occam's razor means, in case you don't know. Anyway, with that, like I said, IUIC, you don't have the truth, and the Holy Spirit's not dealing with you, and you definitely don't got the Comforter. All right, and there's many of you that don't have this truth. If you would apply Occam's razor to the MOTB, it would make all the sense in the world. The first thing we did was, well, what does the word mark mean? You just now getting it, which is slow ass. I'm talking about you, Nate. You just now figuring out that that means a charagma after a Christian document came out that you read. But then you kept reading, oh, Nero. You know, Nero made coins, and if you didn't love Nero, you didn't kiss his toenails, you couldn't buy or sell. That's the mark of the beast. But you know what? I pray for you zombies. Every last one of you. And I mean it too. With that, and that's all you're going to get. Shalom.